We need these skins right now, Smilegate, and the Clarissa one as well. Right, guys? Welcome on in, everybody. Good to have you here. This is a follow-up video to the patch preview alongside the ML Leo Recall ML4 Selector. Hopefully you watched it as well. But today, let's go and talk about the heroes that are coming out, the banners, and just, you know, Cars Quick Summon thoughts on all of them. So we're going to cover, let's see, Summertime Iseria, Angelica, these names, by the way, are getting a little confusing. Sermia, Ball and Sezin, and then we'll talk about Specimen Says just a little bit because he is the Mystic rerun alongside Angelica. And if you are spending those Mystics, you might want to, you know, consider the ML5 that comes along, the ML4, etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these two out of the way, guys. Sermian, Ball and Sezin. I'll make this very brief. Unless they are your absolute favorite unit that you've been waiting forever on, with Samurai Iseria out, and you have 1 day left on Rem and Amelia, make sure you get those limiteds first, okay? So Rem, Amelia, and Summertime Iseria are all limited units, meaning they may not be rerun, especially not the ReZero units. Those are a collaboration. They may not get rerun. Summertime Iseria will like 99% come back next summer, but do you want to wait a year when these two are more likely to come back sooner if you even wanted them? Sermia, PvE monster like Hall of Trials, very good there. She can be used in like arena offense, guild war offense if you CR push her typically. But for the most part, not a meta unit, not really needed for anything in particular. And Fireball, a lot of people don't like him, but he's very, very good in Earth Expedition, and then that's about it. Okay? So anyways, let's go ahead. With that being said, start the video. Let's go cover Summertime Iseria first, then we'll cover Angelica, and Specimen Says, and talk about the Mystic summons, okay? Alrighty, starting with Summertime Iseria, guys. She looks absolutely amazing.
Time to mess around.
The voice actor is also very good. They killed it. Iseria's not even really a favorite unit of mine, but man, she looks so good here. Definitely got to pull forward. She's limited, like I mentioned, and she will be a Fire Ranger, which I think a lot of people were not expecting. I think a lot of y'all predicted, both my Twitch chat and you guys, I think we're predicting what she might be an Ice unit to counter Carrot, or just a lot of units are Ice. Some people are also saying they'll just do Earth again because Holiday Euphine was Fire and, you know, Seaside Bologna is Ice, so it would complete the. By the way, guys, oh my God, look at Alexa. Alexa's specialty change when. But anyways, let's go and cover the let's just cover her kit and things like that. Guys, she is insanely unique, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, more so than any other unit I think thus far, at least for these limiteds, it's gonna be very hard to tell exactly how good she's gonna be, but she looks very, very strong from the get-go. You'll see why here. If you haven't seen anything yet, buckle in, because her skill set is actually very, very crazy, very stacked, but it's hard to tell how good it's actually going to be because of the mechanics. So we have a Fire Ranger, Capricorn with imprint concentration effectiveness, team attack imprint. Okay, so Fire Ranger. And then let's go ahead and start with the skills here. We have skill 2, the suppression attempt. So we already have some new mechanics straight out the gate. Doesn't cost any souls on her first soul burn, which we'll show on the skill 1 here in a second. She cannot trigger a critical hit, which is kind of a theme lately, right, guys? With an increased attack percent. So that's kind of nice. Could be combined with things like Lilius, or you can build her, you know, similar to Carrot. Units like that. For now, except for the cast using attack that targets all enemies. Activate Suppress. Can only be activated once every 3 turns, and that increases combat radius for all allies by 15%, and plants a bomb on 2 random enemies for 2 turns. Guys, there is so much going on with this skill 2 passive. It gives 20%. What is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 30% attack. It also has that doesn't cost souls on the skill 1, which you're going to see soon, and then the suppress, which gives CR push for allies and plants a bomb. Insanely crazy. They're doing so much on these passives, especially for these units, that yeah, it does so much. Let's go and see here if there's a skill animation for it. Trying to find one. We'll just watch together real fast, guys. So there it is. Looks good. It looks like Green Iseria's S2. And she, as you can see, guys, she planted a bomb. Bombs on Poultice there and on Landy while CR pushing. So skill 1, take note, guys, this is the soul burn, which grants an extra turn. So the skill 2 passive means even though it costs 20 souls, she will always be able to get an extra turn, so she can skill 1 and then do a skill 3 right after. So the skill 1 has a 75% chance, I believe. Yeah, 75% chance to dispel 2 buffs. And then she gets an extra turn at no cost. At least the first time. See the skill animation real fast. Same as the Earth form, right? And as you can see there, guys, she has the extra turn. So she could actually, for 20 souls, she can actually take 3 turns, technically. Right? First turn, soul burned, and then free, and then if she has 20 souls, she can take another turn, following up into a 3rd turn. So skill 3, guys, Sword of Flowers. 4-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies with the Sword of Flowers, increasing attack for 2 turns, and increases speed of the caster for 2 turns. Decreased attack, very powerful. Increased speed, very powerful. And then at the end of the turn, detonates bombs inflicted on the enemy. So very powerful buffs and debuffs on a 2-turn. And then also detonates the bombs that may have happened through the skill 2 or her artifact, which you'll see soon. Very, very cohesive kit, guys. And the debuffs and buffs are very strong. So as long as the bomb mechanic, which is that's the tricky part, guys, and why I mentioned we don't know how strong she's going to be, because Smilegate hasn't officially shown what exactly they're changing. They said bombs will ignore ER, effect resist on stuns, I think is what they're changing. They also said, like, when you transfer them, there's a lot of stuff that's happening that we won't know for sure, I think, until the patch notes come out either on Thursday or on the balance patch preview on Friday, covering like ML Leo and detonates and things like that. So stay tuned for that, guys, until we know exactly how the detonates and bombs will work. And even then, after we see it, we still have to test it. It's very unclear how the bombs, since it's a huge part of her kit, how powerful they'll be. But if you take all of it in tandem, all of it combined, her kit is insane, guys. I think she has a lot of potential. It's really just ultimately how strong bombs will end up, but it's looking very good because it seems like they're making them even stronger. So let's go ahead and hover to the skill 3 animation. This is really nice. Very good, guys. She looks so good there. Big damage detonating those bombs. All right, and then let's look at the artifact. This is actually very important. This is tricky, guys. So for me and all the free-to-plays out there, because I'm out of Skystones, out of Triple SRM, guys, this artifact looks like it's going to be insane if you wanted to go down the Iseria road, or at least the bomb road, including ML Leo, making a team comp around the detonates, around the bombs, because this is going to be extremely unique whenever you have an artifact like this, guys. So I mentioned we don't know how powerful the bomb will be, but if you want to play the bomb game, or if bombs end up being very strong, you're going to want this artifact, and you're going to want it maxed out, unfortunately. So it sucks that Smilegate made it RNG related when, you know, the ReZero artifacts were not RNG capped, meaning if you have a plus 15, let's say Crescent Moon, whatever the REM artifact was, the percentage, it always gives the full value. You only get additional stats, but not this RNG percentage chance, like as you can see here, guys, for Iseria's. Does that make sense? It'll be 75% chance at 15, and then only 100% chance to proc. So think kind of like Rengar's drink, and y'all know my take on that. You really want to max these kinds of artifacts out, because it really sucks when you don't proc the effect. It pretty much is a wasted it's a wasted turn, a wasted artifact almost. But anyways, let's talk about what it does. When a non-critical hit is made after using a basic skill, which Iseria never crits anyways, has 100% chance to plant a bomb on the target for 2 turns. Remember, she can also spam out skill ones with both the soul burn and the free soul burn extra turns. So she can just plant bombs on a lot of people. And then it's not activated by counters, duels, etc. That's pretty common now. But she can just plant bombs on a lot of people and then follow up into a skill 3. There's so many cool things you can do with this. You can also put this on other units and have them apply. Think of like Senya, maybe Carrot, units that don't crit. They can apply bombs. Just make sure it's single target only. Remember that, guys. It won't work for AoE units. But a very unique artifact, a potentially very powerful artifact. The only downside is you will want to have as many copies as possible. So I wish I saved some more bookmarks and Skystones. Let me know how you guys are looking on your resources. But that kind of wraps up Iseria, guys. She, more than any other unit, we need to see how the bombs work, and then we need to test this skill, because the bomb mechanic is something that's been out for a while, but it's been very mediocre, and now it's getting revamped, and now we have multiple units with it. Let's see how it pans out, but I'm super excited. So that being said, let's go ahead and look at our next unit here, and we got Angel of Light Angelica. Looking very, very good. Alright guys, so Angel of Light Angelica is actually a mage instead of a Soul Weaver this time around. And she is our first unit, I believe, right guys? Our first unit that has two different Moonlight 4-star counterparts. So Angelica and now Angel of Light Angelica. Kind of makes sense lore-wise for those of you that are caught up on the story. You know, just showing her. Looks really good, obviously. I really like her looks. Effectiveness, imprint concentration, defense, imprint release. Light Mage Taurus. Skill 2, guys, just like Iseria, Summer Iseria, her skill 2 is absolutely packed. Immune to stun, which is huge, and when an ally, except for the caster, is attacked, increases combat radius of the caster by 8% for each provoked ally. So, very anti-AoE, almost anti-cleave, also with immunity stun, anti-control. When suffering an attack that targets all allies, has a 75% chance to activate Guardian Angel, that's 100% after Mola. And then that dispels one debuff and also granting skill nullifier. Guys, this skill 2 is so busted for especially for a 4-star unit. Anti-AoE, anti-cleave, anti-control, it's just so good. I think if anyone, just on this skill alone, if you play PvP seriously at all or plan to play it seriously in the future, I think you really need to at least try to get this Angel of Light Angelica. And remember, you cannot exchange your ML Leo for Angelica. You'll have to try and get lucky on the Mystic Summons, which I'll cover here in just a second. But skill 2, absolutely busted. It's so packed. It's insane. Let's look at the skill animation real fast. So Cerise here, gonna AoE down and trigger our Guardian. What's it called? Guardian Angel. Skill null, and then debuffed the speed down on some of them. Wow, very, very good. So let's go to the next skill here, guys. Angel of Light Angelica, skill 3, Judgment and Angels. So this is the skill 3. Disposed to, she's a mage, but it seems like she's kind of just another Soul Weaver again. But she'll have access to mage artifacts. Dispels 2 buffs from all enemies with Holy Light before a 70% chance to make them unable to be buffed for 2 turns and silencing for 1 turn. And I believe when I saw in the preview, guys, this doesn't do any damage. But 10, 20, 100% chance to make them unbuffable and for 2 turns and silence for 1 turn. So that's very, very powerful. Benevolent Roman has a 2-turn silence, but the unbuffable for 2 turns at 100% chance is kind of crazy. This is also a very, very strong skill 3. Very highly control setup skill 3. And then you combine that with the skill 2 passive, her kit already looks extremely strong. Doesn't even matter from here on out what the skill 1 does. Yeah, it doesn't do any damage, but very strong debuffs. Skill 1, Ritualistic Touch, attacks the enemy with the fragments of a shimmering star with a 50% chance. That is 75? 10, yeah, 75% chance to silence again. So she has two different silence skills. And when they're silenced after attacking, decreases combat radius of the target by 25%. Okay, so actually kind of nice for a skill 1. Makes her turns or potential dual attacks not really that bad. Silence is actually huge, and 75% chance to silence could be a game changer, right, guys? Not only does it silence, but you also can decrease the combat rates of the caster. So, kind of a stacked skill 1, to be honest. And then the soul burn increase 100% could be clutch in some scenarios. Not like, you know, skill 1s are never usually that amazing, especially for like support type units. But hers is very, very nice, I have to say. All right, and I think the animation, she's just going to slap somebody similar to... actually, that animation looks kind of different than Angelica's. Maybe I'm just seeing it differently, but she looks really good, guys. The hair and the wings look really, really cool for Angelica. Okay, well, let's see, guys. Like I said, she looks insanely powerful, potentially even more powerful than Summer Iseria. Let me know what you guys think, but I think for my PvPers, you do need to grab her. Her kit seems so oppressive. Anti-cleave, anti-control. It just seems very, very good. Anti-AoE, like I said. So make sure y'all pick her up, okay? Now, how do you pick her up? Well, let's talk about this because I have a few gripes with the way ML4s are kind of released. This may be a first world problem, but guys, so as you can see here, you always have a ML5 paired with an ML4. So it'll be Specimen Says. This was revealed, guys. Specimen Says alongside, picture here, it would be Angelica, okay? Now the problem is, if you don't like Specimen Says, or you already have Specimen Says, and let's say you guys are sitting, I know some of you here watching, right? Let me know if you're sitting on a pity, you're ready to go. You can't summon for Angelica anymore because you don't want to waste that super valuable pity on a ML5 you don't want, right? And let's go ahead and talk about Specimen Says real fast. We're not going to go too far in depth. One, I don't own him, and two, I kind of just... we already covered the units that are coming out. Specimen Says, I think, can be very good potentially, but there's just so many other Moonlight 5 stars that just have way more impact or are better for progression or just do more in a general purpose kind of setting. Specimen Says, I think he can work really well now as a bruiser, as a one-shot, you know, extinction. He'll take something out if it's stunned, but he requires some setup, he requires some specific gearing, and I think for a lot of players, you'll just be better off getting a different unit. Like upcoming, we have Last Rider Cry, Ambitious Tywin, Moonlight Haste, Sage Ball, all waiting to also come out on Mystics. I think every single one of those is just in a vacuum a little bit more powerful than Specimen Says. But if you did want Specimen Says, then feel free, and the bonus is you'll get Angelica, or chances at summoning Angelica here for the 4-star. The problem is those of us that don't want to waste our pity, it kind of sucks because I don't want Specimen Says either, guys. And if I have to go the distance for Angelica, the farther I summon in, I'm wasting a lot of mystics potentially on an ML5 I don't want. That being said, I will throw in probably, I'll go as deep as 30, 40, 50. That way, if I get Specimen Says at 50 instead of Angelica or something, I wasted 2,500 bookmarks. Not the worst, because I think she is that powerful. I would recommend you guys do the same. If you didn't want Spez, have a number. That's assuming you're not already waiting at pity, guys. If you're waiting at pity, I'm sorry. You're going to have to make a tough decision. But those of you that are, let's say, at a 200 or haven't summoned yet, like me, throw in a good amount. Worst case scenario, even if you don't like Spez, it's another ML5 he's pretty decent. And you have your chances at getting Angelica. But that being said, I hope Smilegate kind of visits a different way to get mystics. Maybe they're like a separate mystic pity, like we can toggle or choose to if we hit pity like at 100 or something instead, we'll get the 4-star, right guys? Or start adding them to the Galaxy coin shop and give us a few coins here and there, maybe even fractions of coins for dupe ML4s. That way we have another option, but the only way to get them right now is through mystic pities, and it's kind of a bad design, at least right now, that we have to kind of make bad decisions or decisions we don't want when we want just one side of this coin. But maybe that's what Smilegate intends for. But that being said, hopefully in the future we'll submit feedback. And that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm super tired. I got to get out of here. But thank you. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.